Today on History You Should Know, here it is, the most requested topic I've ever gotten. This is the prequel episode of the Wars of the Roses in all its glory. Ang Plantagenets ang pinakamatagal na dynasty na namuno sa England. They ruled for more than 300 years through 14 kings, with the last 4 kings playing hot potato with a crown. Pero tulad ng lahat ng kabanata sa kasaysayan, the roots of this conflict go way back. We begin this story with Edward III. He is considered to be one of England's greatest kings. Bakit? Dahil tuloy-tuloy ang panalo niya laban sa France noong the 100 Years' War. Victories equals land, and land equals money and power. At one point, the English had more lands in France than the French. So to distribute this wealth among his children, he established the duchy or the dukedom in England. Ang panganay niyang anak na Edward din ang pangalan, better known as Edward the Black Prince, was the heir to the throne. His other children became the dukes. At yumaman silang lahat. The duchy gave way to a new class of powerful nobility. Dati hari lang ang may pera at kakayahang gumamit ng army. Now, each duke with their land had the ability to raise armies with their newfound money and influence. Because land equals money. But since their family, they wouldn't use that against each other, right? In 1376, Edward the Black Prince unexpectedly died of dysentery. Wow, that's a hard word to say. In 1376, Edward the Black Prince unexpectedly died of dysentery. Ang naging bagong tagapagmana ng corona ay ang anak niyang si Richard. And just a year later, in 1377, Edward III died before he could prepare Richard to rule. Richard II became king at only 10 years old. Having a child ruler in the pages of history usually means one thing: someone else was running the show. Richard II may have been king, but he was a puppet at first, until the influence of his advisors turned him into a tyrant. He killed rebels mercilessly. He beheaded nobles and even exiled members of his own family. Isa sa mga pinalayas niya ay ang pinsan niyang si Henry Bolingbroke, anak ng tito niya na si John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster. John of Gaunt is also the third son of the late Edward III. Tinanggalan niya ng titulo at mana si Henry, and this was his biggest mistake. In 1399, Henry returned, and with the help of people who didn't like the king, he successfully took the throne from his cousin. Richard II was imprisoned and eventually died in captivity. Henry became Henry IV, the first king from the House of Lancaster. Henry IV was then succeeded by his son, Henry V, an experienced soldier. He came the closest to conquering all of France. At one point, he was named heir to the French throne after the death of the current king, which means that Henry V, after the death of that king, would then become King of England and France. Wala pang nangyayaring ganon ever. The Lancastrian line looked powerful, stable, and secure until Henry V suddenly died of dysentery at only 35 years old. Pero may tagapagmana siya na magtutuloy ng Lancastrian line. Ang anak niyang Henry rin ang pangalan. And this was Henry VI. The problem was, he became king at 9 months old. At sa ilalim ng pamumuno ni Henry VI, nagsimulang magkagulo ang lahat. Unlike his father, Henry VI was a very weak man. He was indecisive when it came to hard decisions. Madali siyang mamanipulate. And he inherited huge problems. And his biggest problem of all was that there were people around him who were better suited to lead. At alam nila yon. The House of Lancaster technically stole the throne of England. And becoming king this way had revealed a dangerous problem. What's going to stop others from doing exactly what they did? Especially those that believed they had a stronger claim to the throne. On the next episode of this series, how did a dynasty that ruled for more than 3 centuries crumble to pieces in just 3 decades? England's weakest king, plus a cunning queen, plus another powerful cousin, too proud and stubborn for his own good. Stay tuned. Liking this series? Well, then follow for more, and boom! Now you know.